Hey everyone, and welcome to The Witcher 1. Yes, again, the side adventure chapter. I asked in my final episode of The Witcher 1 whether you would like to see a side adventure as well as instead of moving on to The Witcher 2 straight away, and most people wanted to see a side adventure, or at least one of them. I've chosen to just do Price of Neutrality, mainly because most of these adventures are actually made by other people than CDPR. CDPR, as far as I know, only made Price of Neutrality and I think it was Side Effects. And Side Effects basically revolves around Dandelion and getting him out of trouble. I never thought this one was particularly interesting, but Price of Neutrality is actually very interesting because it talks of Eskel's surprise child, which I, to this day, have not quite decided whether or not I'll add it into the canon, but I think The Witcher 3 actually has a line about it as well, so I think I might have to. So we're gonna play that one. It's not very long, don't worry. I don't think I can actually finish that in an hour, but we'll see, I know how far I go, so. The famed White Wolf, Geralt of Rivia, returns for the winter to Kaer Morhen, the witch's fortress that lies hidden amidst the Blue Mountains. He finds that uninvited guests arrive before him, bringing trouble with them. Becoming entangled in their conflict, Geralt must choose between the greater and lesser evil. Decide if he is willing to pay the price of preserving his neutrality. And as opposed to the player-made adventures, obviously, the CDPR created ones are fully voiced. So, let's have ourselves a look. Just the story, please. And we get a whole new character introduction as well, as Sabrina Glevesig. I know.
Master Dandelion, you promised us a ballad.
Yes. Of battles and brave
Of
warriors.
sorceresses and magic.
Of unrequited love.
Voice acting!
Brats, you've not been in this world for long, so 'tis no surprise your heads are hollow. This is Dandelion, friend and companion of Geralt of Rivia. Who might he sing of, if not of the famed Witcher?
Right you are, honorable dwarf. I shall sing a fresh new ballad about White Wolf. Our story begins long before the Great War, decades before Geralt ever dreamed he would be famous. Its title, Bitter Evil Hearts. In the fall of 1232, the Witcher decided to return early to Kaer Morhen, fearing the quick advent of winter.
And what he found there, oh my lord, you would not believe. Or we would. Yeah, the voice acting's still, it's still Witcher 1, so I hope you didn't get your hopes up.
The Witcher was angry. The final stretch through northern Kedwen was usually calm, but not this time. He was twice ambushed by bandits. Then one night, wolves attacked and killed his horse. He had grown accustomed to the kindly gray mare he had traditionally christened Roach. To make matters worse, at the foot of Kaer Morhen, he encountered a camp. Like all Witchers, he believed the fingers of one hand would suffice to count the people who knew the way to the Witcher's fortress. Visitors were a sign of trouble.
So is the T position. Yes, thank you for all the tutorials. Yeah. I mean, this does not matter, obviously, because that's... Have I ever cared? Have I ever cared about talents? No, I don't believe I have. Get all the stamina. Get all of this. Yes, let's do all of this too. And that's all my silver talents straight down the drain. Do you need other silver talents though, Jinsey? No, not really, because you're playing on easy mode. That is a fair enough point. And you don't really have to do that much fighting, to be honest. I'm gonna say as well, the side quests in the side adventure, not that interesting. So I'm probably not gonna do the one where I think Sabrina asks me to get some wolf pelts or something. Things like that. They're not that interesting. Let's be real.
Perhaps we should return to Cairngorm. I have no desire to perish in this wilderness forsaken by the gods.
Silence, Morhen. They are but wolves.
Wolves that fearlessly attack an encampment thick with campfires. I ask your forgiveness, mistress, but these are but wolves, like I am but an elven showgirl.
Did anyone ask for your opinion, Mr. Brings? No? Then start doing what you are being paid for, and keep your hopelessly cowardly opinions to yourself. We would all be safe if your boys manned their stations, instead of constantly playing dice while bathing in drink. Now take away this corpse before its stench fills my tent.
Can I ask what happened?
Wolves killed the boy. Nothing unusual about it happening in the camp. It's commonly known that wolves, the cursed beasts, love flames so much that they bathe in them if they could.
Enough, Brings. Who are you, sir?
Geralt of Rivia, Witcher.
Prince Merwin Adamain of Ard Caraig. Kind of you to visit, finally. We've been awaiting your response all day.
Response regarding...
I'll explain. I'm Sabrina Glevissig, sorceress. Come see me at my tent. Merwin, I assume you won't mind my handling this matter?
No, though I will want to know what you agree.
It'll have to wait, whatever it is. Wolves approach.
To arms!
Yes, if you're wondering, there is a slight echo in the audio. Why? Your guess is as good as mine. Which is not very good. Yeah, the combat also did not change at all. I don't know why I'm explaining that. I guess it's obvious that it didn't, but still. Thought I'd mention it. If you thought there were additions in there. In any sense. There is not. Are we done? Thank you. Right, so I'll try to be as go as straight to the point as we can. Yeah, we don't actually need the gold. I do want to talk to him because I think he has something interesting to say. Still, somewhat.
Have a minute? I wanted to talk.
So, speak.
How did you find the way to Kaer Morhen?
Do you fear for the castle's safety? Unnecessarily. I have no intention of divulging the road to the legendary Kaer Morhen.
Thank you.
I am not new to the mountains, Witcher. The road to Kaer Morhen is winding and steep, but I know how to navigate in mountains. For I was raised in these hills.
Are you from Dol Blathana?
Close, but not quite. I fought at Dol Blathana, but hail from elsewhere. The Blue Mountains, as you call them, are my home.
You're a free elf.
Yes, I am a free Ansaid, and no commander, no order can change that.
See you.
Yeah, so I thought it would be prudent to at least explain why they're here, and it's because this guy led them here. And the distinction between a free elf is basically in Dol Blathana, you're not necessarily a free elf, because of the way that Emir treats you as a vassal, basically. Like, the Dol Blathana was given to the elves by Emir. I think eventually they start calling themselves free elves, but I'm not 100% sure on that, but the Blue Mountain elves always call themselves the free elves, and that's also the party that Geralt encounters when he is at the edge of the world near the Blue Mountains. They are the free elves. So, you know, they eventually move to Dol Blathana, but I know not all of them do, so, you know. And then there's the Scoia'tael, who just hate everybody. As you do. And yeah, Sabrina changed a bit. Don't mind her.
Welcome to Mistress Sabrina's tent.
He's her boy
In
toy.
case you're wondering, this is an illusion.
Everything?
Yes, but my dear Witcher, it's an illusion of rare quality. In fact, it barely differs from reality.
No matter.
Suit yourself. I assume you're returning to Kaer Morhen for the winter.
You assume correctly. Enough of the small talk. We have important things to discuss.
Thank you for your help with the wolves.
No problem.
You've heard of the curse of the Black Sun, Witcher?
The curse of the Mad Mage Eltebald. I believe he started the whole mess that led to several dozen nobly born women being murdered or imprisoned in towers.
Eltebald was no madman, and there is no doubt that women were not entirely normal.
Madness, normality, it's prattle steeped in relativity. Tell me something specific.
Autopsies were performed. The mutations witches undergo are but a minor clinical operation compared to those caused by the curse of the Black Sun. The skulls and spines of these girls contained red sponge of some kind. Their internal organs were in disarray, some missing altogether. Everything covered in moving cilia and pink and blue meat scraps. What say you to that?
Nothing. I've seen humans with eagle talons instead of hands, with wolf fangs and eyes. people with additional joints. All products of mages fumbling with magic. It's no proof of a curse. We digress. Why are you here?
A girl affected by the curse of the Black Sun is inside Kaer Morhen. Princess Deidre Adamain, elder sister of Morhen.
What do I have to do with this?
Don't play the fool. That girl is a serious threat to you. Surrender her to me and no one will get hurt.
I'll think about it.
Okay, so the conversation they just had about the sponges, real quick.
Sabrina, I wish to have a word with you.
Me too.
Naturally, Morhen, but not now. I have several matters to discuss with Geralt of Rivia.
Is there anything I should know?
Don't fret. We will confer later.
In that case, I shall take my leave.
I was trying to talk. Okay. Are you done? Okay. So the conversation they just had is an exact copy of the conversation that Geralt had with Stregobor during the... what was it called again? I think it was also actually called the Lesser Evil. There's a short story, basically, that also revolves around the Curse of the Black Sun, and they have literally the exact same conversation together. Where Geralt again says, you know, this is mages messing with small children, and this is what happens. They turn mutated. And as in that story, Stregobor was trying to get something from Geralt. He was trying to convince him to kill the girl who was affected by the Curse of the Black Sun. Now, I have a whole lot of thoughts about the Black Sun. I don't believe there is actually such a thing as the Black Sun, personally, but, you know, that requires an entire video on its own. But yeah, Stregobor was trying to get something from Geralt, and in this case, again, Sabrina is only using it as leverage. I don't actually think that either Stregobor or Sabrina really thought that there was something wrong with these girls, and Stregobor wanted the girl dead because that girl wanted him dead for all the torture he inflicted upon her and many others, and Sabrina wants this girl for another reason, which I won't tell you yet, but I guess it's already kind of obvious when you think about it, but yeah. We'll get to that. She also wants the girl for self-gain.
Your beauty is unrivaled in this world. I burn with love for you.
That's a line he has for Sabrina, but he's an illusion, so, you know, he says it to Geralt as well. Another thing I also find kind of funny is that every time an illusion happens, it's always not like other illusions. It's always really, really lifelike. I don't think I've ever had a mage of any kind, either in the books or in the games, go, yeah, it's pretty obviously an illusion, isn't it? It's kind of bad. I'm not that good at them. No, they're all super good at illusions.
Witcher?
Sabrina?
You must be bored out here.
So bored.
Well, in truth, the valley provides little in the way of diversion for the civilized, and my illusory boy is no longer as entertaining as he used to be.
Oh. Yeah, no.
You could get Briggs' men to put on a show.
I said diversion for the civilized. I prefer some cultured conversation.
Mm-hmm.
If you lack words at the moment, I could request something more pertinent to the witcherly profession. I require some materials for my research.
Materials?
I wish to study the wolves that lurk about the campsite. I need a vital organ, let's say the liver. 20 of them. In exchange, I will give you a sword that I in turn received from one of my lovers. I believe you'll make good use of it.
Yeah, if I run into them, sure, but otherwise
Fine.
we're not doing
I'll
that.
give you the samples you want.
That's kind. You're much nicer than that boor Lambert.
It's not a very good sword, by the way, so, you know.
I've heard nothing to convince me that the girl is cursed. What proof can you offer?
Quite a bit. All the girls born soon after the eclipse were discovered to be inclined towards cruelty, aggressive, prone to attacks of wrath and wildness.
Yeah, but here's the thing, at least as far as I know, is that these girls were already suspected, branded as girls of the, you know, the curse. So you're going to see things, this is a confirmation bias, you're going to see things you want to see. That's just how it is, you know, just like with Falca's children. Like, I won't go into this, but the fact that they expected to see terrible things from Falca's child as well, and as it turned out, she was a lovely girl, you know, that tells you enough, right? That tells you enough. And again, yeah, sounds like quite a few women I know.
Sounds like quite a few women I know.
Spare me the sarcasm.
Nope.
That is not all. The girls who were not cared for by mages showed exactly what they were capable of relatively quickly. They drowned entire lands in blood, ordering those captured to be tortured, executed.
Enough, Sabrina. If a curse could be used to explain the cruelty of all rulers, the world would be both simple and beautiful. Have anything specific or not?
I do. Hear me out and try not to interrupt. A magical aura surrounds Deidre.
From what I know, most people have an aura.
You're interrupting. This is no normal aura. In her presence, the magic energy we draw on to cast spells dissipates. More precisely, it is converted into its original form, one of the elements. Simply put, it is impossible to use magic around her. I need not mention that this also applies to your witch's signs.
I see now why you need all those mercenaries.
In addition, she has an understanding with animals.
Druids have been taming...
Their magic does not turn animals into bloodthirsty beasts stripped of basic instincts. You have seen the wolves. They fear nothing, pay no heed to fire, pain, they merely want to kill.
Right, so that whole anti-magic thing, again, that's the same thing as in the story from the books. I think, what's her name again? Renfrey? Renfrey had the same thing, she was immune to magic. But that was likely because of all the experiments that were done to her before that because of the curse. So she had, literally, I think what Stregobor says is she has developed an immunity to magic. Like, this is not something she was born with. This happened over time. So there's absolutely no reason not to believe that the same thing happened here. So again, this is Sabrina trying to manipulate you. Or, twisting the facts. However you want to explain that. But yeah, that's a thing. So still not really, not impressed. Not impressed.
What do you aim to do with Deidre?
See if the curse can be removed. Study it, and finally and ultimately conclude the matter of the curse of the Black Sun. Contrary to what you believe, I intend to make her an offer. If she can find the will to aid me, it will only ease things for all of us.
And if she doesn't agree to help?
I shall force her. Yes, Geralt, for the greater good, I will bow at nothing. For I stand to save hundreds, perhaps thousands. You may not believe me, but there are more women of this kind. Many rule entire lands with a cruel hand. I am to report to the Council of Mages, the first trustworthy report, containing specific results. I must examine the girl, and that is precisely what I will do. Nothing and no one will stop me.
Sure. Yeah, this whole thing about the cruelty of the rulers. How many rulers have we seen in the Witcher world who weren't cruel in some way? I guess Esther Tyson of Kaer isn't too cruel. But pretty much everyone, you can see some streaks of cruelty. And quite frankly, the only one we have heard from in actual writing was Falka. And that had other reasons. That had a lot of other reasons, and none of those had to do with being born under a black sun of some sort. So, again, that is nonsense. You are confirmation biasing. You expect to see something, and thus you see it. So, the same thing with Deidre as well. She is, again, not being entirely truthful at all. Because this is not the only reason they want Deidre. They'll tell you about this later. But the fact that she omits that information should tell you from the very start that she's trying to get something else. You catch my drift. Okay.
Sure about that?
Don't threaten me, Witcher. All of Kedwin's might stands behind me.
Nobody
King
cares.
Henselt is eating out of my hand. You wouldn't dare.
Are you sure?
Witcher?
She doesn't know what happens later on yet, which is hilarious. It makes all these comments hilarious. I won't spoil that yet, though. I won't spoil yet. Well, I won't spoil at all, I guess I should say, but... Hey!
Have you spoken to the other Witchers? Who is at the castle?
Morhen spoke to 2 of them. There may be more, I don't know. Morhen was not let inside.
We don't like him.
That shouldn't be surprising. We don't generally like guests.
Like it or not, we are special guests. Morhen carries a letter of safe conduct from King Henselt. Read it, and tell the other witches to prepare for a visit.
No. And also, King Henselt can jump high or low. He would still not get in here. You're trying to get an actual army into Kaer Morhen, and, we would know that. If they mobilized an army, we'd know that. This already happened before with the mages. That was a full-out attack. But you're gonna catch, what is it, Vesemir, Lambert, Eskel, and I guess Deidre comes along as well, and Geralt, 5 people. You're gonna send an entire army to attack 5 people, and if it's just a small army, like Salamandra did, you're still gonna lose. So, like, I'm sorry, but this threat is so empty, because all this can do is cost Henselt a ton of money, and then remove witches from the world, which means he'll have to spend even more money to get rid of monsters. So this is a lose-lose situation. You're full of it. Bye. See ya.
See you. Soon.
No, not even soon. Just leave. Forever. You know.
Go and speak with the witches. Sway them to my point of view. I'm a professional. I know what the girl needs.
Uh-huh.
And I'm very good at demonstrating gratitude.
Uh-huh.
That I do not doubt at all.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about sex.
Also, Sabrina's a bit of a nymph.
I see you have spoken to Miss Sabrina. However, I lead this expedition. Remember that.
I will.
Are you able to read?
I am.
Then read this scroll.
To my barons, vassals, and all free subjects.
Go on, go on.
Let it be known far, wide, and by all, that I hereby declare Merwin of Caingorn to be our loyal and trusted servant, and to be loved by us, thus rendering all who cause him grief liable to incur our royal wrath. Henselt, King of Kedwin.
Good enough. Understood?
Indeed, though grief is spelled differently.
I see you are quick. So you accept that if the witches wish to travel freely and unmolested about Kedwin, they should not cause me grief, no matter how the term is spelt.
You don't seem like anyone's causing you grief.
Not yet, no. But that may change, and my patience has its limits.
I wanted to ask you something.
I'll always love how in The Witcher 1, no matter what, the conversation can change to something entirely different in mere moments. Or just like, you know, a second.
May I ask what brings you to Kaer Morhen, sir?
My sister, Deidre. She is my elder, and in Kedwin, the eldest offspring inherits all titles and estates, no matter the gender. My father, Prince of Cairngorn, may he rest in peace, passed on 2 weeks ago, a victim of syphilis.
So Deidre is now Princess of Caingorn?
She would be, if not for the curse that holds her. Anyone aspiring to the throne of Cairngorn must fulfill 2 additional conditions. Cairngorn is a vassal state of Kedwin. For decades, the princes of the north have bowed before the throne at Ard Carreg, a throne currently occupied by King Henselt, who has made his opinion on the issue of cursed princesses very clear.
I think I get it. And the second condition?
Do you know Cairngorn's history, Witcher?
Not well.
We have this custom whereby any aspiring ruler, prior to assuming the throne, must spend a day amongst the duchy's simple folk, execute a series of menial tasks, and pray in the Temple of Freya in the evening.
Sounds reasonable.
The problem is my sister has displeased the simple folk in the past, and though she most probably could bribe a few prominents, the priestesses of Freya will never accept her.
Because she is cursed, supposedly.
Because she is cursed, supposedly.
Because she has killed too many, even for a princess. Her victims include the priestess Isildura. Truthfully, the old hag was nearing the end of her days, but that changes little.
Is it certain that Deidre caused her death?
Beyond any doubt. When Miss Sabrina decided to perform a magic ritual that was to lift the curse from my sister, Deidre went mad. Then a huge wolf emerged from behind a house, and before it could be stopped, it shredded Isildura's throat. Miss Sabrina cast a powerful spell, and the old priestess's spirit arose and said, I was killed by Deidre Ademain, who was born beneath the Black Sun.
Sabrina cast a spell, you say? I believe necromancy was banned.
All of this is so convincing. It absolutely, definitely wasn't Sabrina who killed her and then put the blame on Deidre. It definitely wasn't. Absolutely no chance. It was all Deidre. Oh, what a monster. What a horrible monster.
Can I ask a personal question?
You may.
You could.
What's your connection to Sabrina Glevisig?
Mutual respect.
That's evident enough.
Hmm?
Can I ask a
You may.
What do you think of Deirdre? I'm talking about the curse, of course.
My information is limited. When we were children, several charlatans appeared. They counseled my father, examined Deirdre, told fortunes and calculated horoscopes. They brewed mysterious concoctions. Nonsense, all of it. When Deirdre was 12, a certain mage arrived, an oniromancer. Do you know what oniromancy is?
Divination based on dreams.
I thought so too. This individual was an altogether different kind of specialist. The mage claimed that he needed to spend a night in Deirdre's chamber as she slept. He mixed a brew designed to amplify her dreams. The old man could barely walk, had a beard down to his waist. We suspected nothing. He did as he claimed he would do. By morning he was gone. Several valuable items had disappeared from Deirdre's chamber, including her favorite mother-of-pearl comb. Only the laundresses in the outskirts saw him, claiming that he had fled as if chased by demons.
So he deceived you and robbed her. Did the prince order a pursuit?
Of course he did, but too late. The morning after that tragic night, Deirdre claimed the mage had raped her. My father refused to believe her. The cheat was an old man, as I said, and the bed linens betrayed nothing. Deidre fled the castle, assisted by a young stable boy, an excessively broad-shouldered oaf. My father sent out a search party, yet Deirdre had disappeared without a trace. A week later, the party found the old mage's corpse. He had been tortured. Someone had cut off his...
I can do without the details. In any case, he was a thief. He could have angered many.
You're right, of course. Yet folk inhabiting the area where he was found claim to have seen a young girl and boy ride through on large wolves.
Wolf-riding children only appear in fairy tales. You can't tell me that a 12-year-old girl and idiot stable boy managed to evade a search party, find the cheat, and...
I'm suggesting nothing, merely recounting facts. Some time passed and Deidre returned to the castle. From then on, my father ordered the dogs set upon any mages that approached, assuming that any true sorcerer would surely manage to avoid a few bear-hunting hounds. And then Miss Sabrina appeared.
Yeah, so, classic tale of, you know, ye olden princess gets raped but not believed by her father and is just then driven to doing terrible things instead. But it was definitely just the curse, guys. It was the curse that made her do all these things. Definitely not her traumatic experiences as a young child. Definitely it's not that. It's definitely just a curse, guys. It's just a curse. I can't say that with a straight face. I'm sorry. I can't. Fuck all these guys. Bye.
Take care.
Ugh. Yeah, we like the dwarves best. Unfortunately. Because, you know, we obviously aren't gonna side with these people, so, you know. There's only one guy I want to talk about too. You.
Greetings. I'm Merton Brings, commander of this pathetic bunch.
At least he
Geralt
knows.
of Rivia.
So, how's it gonna be, Geralt?
How is what going to be?
Will you make peace with the Honourable Glevisig? Please take that damn bitch. Or are we due to have a serious misunderstanding?
Believe me, Merton. You don't want to cross swords with me.
Of course I wouldn't. I've heard what your kind can do. I once saw a witcher at work. That changes little though. We're on contract and contracts are sacred. So what will it be?
I don't know yet. Let's try to figure it out.
Alright. Forgive me, I can offer nothing. We can't hunt because of these wolves, and our supplies are running low.
I mean, I could also already tell him what it's gonna be, but hey.
So what's the story with this contract of yours?
Well, when Merwin tells us to fight, we'll have no choice. He pays regularly, on time. My hands are tied.
So the nobleman is in charge?
Theoretically.
And practically?
I'll say this. Sabrina Glevisig interrupts King Hensel when he speaks by pounding the table with her fist and ordering him to shut up and listen.
What does Hensel do?
He listens. The woman can be very unpleasant. Merwin is from Cairngorm, and only recently joined Hensel's court. He's no match for the witch.
Who is?
Witches are best handled by witchers.
Yeah, that fist on the table is again direct quote from the book. She actually did do that. This was from a time when mages still sat on the councils of every king. And the council, I believe it was actually the council of mages that also told them who would be on what council most times. Yeah, and then Thanet happened. And it all went poof. Except for Sabrina and Triss and... wow, what's her face? Kira Metz. They somehow still kept their positions. I am not too sure why either. I actually do think that they went away for a while in short hiding, but they definitely kept their positions eventually. They got them back, so... You know, mages, you know.
Any thoughts on this girl, Deirdre?
Too thin for my taste. Nothing to grab hold of, eh? Or slap. Or take and...
I guess she's just not the dwarven type.
Precisely. Though, I wouldn't kick her out of the sack.
Not afraid of the curse?
Afeard? No, Witcher. I'm a rationalist. Don't believe the hogwash. But you're wasting your time. The girl's inside your fortress. See her for yourself.
Not a bad idea.
See, this guy is logical. He has all that logic. Why can't he talk to those guys? Just be like, hey, you weirdos.
How did you find Kaer Morhen?
We tracked the girl here, thanks to Rhyme. He's the best scout I know. Could find a fish in a stream.
He did track the girl down.
Geralt?
Yeah,
Take
so
care.
that's all we're getting from there. We already talked to Rhyme. So, you know. We're leaving, guys. Wave to Geralt. Wave to Geralt, guys. Or don't wave to Geralt. It's fine. I'm not bothered. Not bothered at all.
Psst! Master Geralt.
What is it?
I merely wish a brief word with you, sir. But reveal not to Miss Sabrina that I drew you aside.
All right. Talk to me.
Master, do not defend the lass you harbour now in your castle. She is not worthy. I detest her with all my might. It will be 2 years now when she passed through my village with her retinue. My father, keeper of the local tavern, took in the noble party. I know not if he offended her, or if it was just her whim, but she tormented my father to death, slowly and cruelly, forcing my mother and me to watch. May she be damned for the ages.
And no one raised a hand to stop her?
It was but the princess who had a retinue of armed men and who wielded a sword herself. There was nothing anyone could do. I beg you, surrender the girl to Sabrina, who will repay her for all her ill deeds.
I need to speak with the other Witchers first.
Oh man, weird that I didn't see her before. Just weird. I mean, couldn't be that it's like Sabrina, right? It was like transformed into like her. Like, really? That can't be. That's not. There's no way, right? She definitely did all those things. That was a trustworthy source. That was an excellent source. I don't think we'll ever get a better source than that source that we just had. It's the best. I believe her. Do you believe her? I believe her. Hey Lambert, do you believe her? I bet you believe her. I believe her.
Hey, Wolf.
Lambert, who else is here for the winter?
Vesemir and Eskel, and... well, we have guests.
I know. I've been to their camp. What are you doing here?
Making sure they stay out of Kaer Morhen.
Our guests tried to enter Kaer Morhen?
Some pompous ass showed up with an escort of dwarf mercenaries. Obviously, I couldn't let them pass.
Yeah, I miss Witcher 3 Lambert's voice too. I'm sorry. I hope you haven't provoked them.
You know they're carrying a letter of safe conduct from King Henselt?
Not interested. This is Kaer Morhen. Royal edicts mean nothing here.
I hope that's not how you put it to him.
Didn't have a chance to. The Archospores sprouted first. Quite a few seem to have planted roots over the summer. I always thought they grew on the graves of the murdered. Some bad wind must have carried the spores to the valley. It's full of them now. In any case, the dwarves evacuated the noblemen as soon as the plants appeared. It's been quiet since then.
As we see, another one of those. Just sprouting up behind them. Well, I'm gonna leave you to that. Because I want to talk to Daddy Vesemir instead. You know. The man with a plan. I should speak with Vesemir and Eskel. Yes, thanks, genius. Good to know. We actually get to see a little bit of the outside of Kaer Morhen, though, which is nice. Because we don't really get to walk here in The Witcher 1 normally. Bit of a waste. But it's mostly the same as in The Witcher 3. I think someone's actually made a mod for the entire intro in The Witcher 3's graphics. But they didn't extend that to this yet, so... otherwise I would have probably checked that out. Hello, Vesemir. My best of friends.
Greetings, Geralt. Good thing you're here.
Greetings.
How is the path?
Tolerable. Nothing groundbreaking. What is going on here, Vesemir?
We've got a bit of a problem. The Princess of Cairngorm arrived 2 days ago, claiming her envious brother and an evil sorceress were pursuing her. She's asked for our protection.
She's got her castles all wrong. No knights in shining armor here.
She was in bad shape, hungry, cold. We didn't have the heart to drive her off. And Eskel was acting strange. Before the girl fell asleep, she said one more thing, that one cannot flee one's fate. Later, Eskel told me a story. Some 20 years ago, he saved the Prince of Cairngorm's life. He cited the law of surprise, and as they say, destiny proved fortunate. Unbeknownst to the prince, his wife was with child.
I'm not sure that was entirely fortunate.
So you've heard of the curse. In any case, on a day when the sky was dark as night at high noon, the princess gave birth to a girl. As far as I know, Eskel never returned to claim the child promised him by the prince. For some reason, ever since then, he's always taken the long way around Cairngorm. So, now we need to deal with the brother of Eskel's unexpected child, a retinue of mercenaries, and a sorceress bent on dissecting the woman she suspects of being a mutant. As if that's not enough, the brother carries a letter of safe conduct from King Henselt himself, so we can hardly just drive them all away.
What do we do?
Talk to Eskel. She's his surprise. We'll meet back at the ford Lambert is guarding. Think it through, Wolf. I want to hear your opinion.
Fine.
Wolf.
I'm so glad you're not a priest. Anyway, yeah, you might have already guessed this, but the Curse of the Black Sun likely is linked to an eclipse, and given how superstitious everyone still is in this day and age, yeah, I guess you would freak out, but an eclipse, I don't think that turned anyone here into a werewolf or anything, so I'm assuming that doesn't happen in this world either, so, you know.
What do you think about this dispute, Deirdre, Sabrina, and the nobleman?
We should stay out of it. Geralt, we protect humans from monsters. That's our vocation. Meddling in human affairs only brings trouble.
Do you mean the letter bearing King Henselt's seal?
Exactly. We can't afford to provoke the king. This could get sticky.
I get your point. I'll see if I can learn some more.
Wolf.
Wolf!
Why is everyone outside?
The keep is locked. I'd rather not unlock it with strangers around. We're better off spending a few days out in the open. That way I can be sure no one will go sniffing around the fortress.
True enough.
Wolf.
And, you know, so the player can't go inside and see all of the unfinished stuff that is in there, because it's like the same as in regular Witcher 1. Hey.
Where's Deirdre?
A little further on with her wolves.
Her wolf.
Tell me about the girl.
She seems a bit strange, though I wouldn't call her a monster.
Strange how?
When she's near, my medallion goes wild, and I can't cast even the simplest signs. I can't explain it.
Or can you?
Where's Deirdre?
A little further
Oh,
up.
I already clicked that.
I
Sorry.
should talk to her.
Bye, Vesemir. My best of friends. I couldn't ask for a better friend. There's Deidre with her little wolves. I mean, gigantic wolves. Jabel, which means devil in Elder speech. Banshee, which is, you know, a banshee. You know, again, that is an elven ghost who foretells your death. If you hear a banshee shriek, that means someone's about to die. Unfortunately. Hello, Deirdre.
Greetings, Geralt. I'm Deidre. Eskel spoke of you.
I've heard a few things about you, too.
If you mean from that lying shrew Glevisig.
Calm down. I don't tend to judge based on rumors.
Geralt,
Yes.
Your wolf's eyes are glazed over with hunger.
they're starved. Because of that bitch Sabrina, I cannot venture beyond the fortress walls. They choose to remain at my side, thus depriving themselves of the opportunity to hunt.
You seem to have a better understanding with wolves than with humans.
I raised them from when they were cubs. In a sense, they are my only friends.
I know that feeling, man. I know that feeling. I've heard that wolves can survive a month without nourishment. From what I know, that's not true of princesses. No, it's not.
I've heard that wolves can survive a month without nourishment. From what I know, that's not true of princesses.
Geralt?
Okay, we'll take the quest, though, real quick.
All right, I'll see if I can find something for them.
I spotted several wyverns in the area, on the peninsula across the river from the camp. If you could slay 3 of them and bring me their meat, I'll reward you.
Reward me?
I have a runestone that can be cast into a blade. What did you think I had in mind?
Nothing. I'll be back soon.
Geralt?
You know very well what we had in mind.
Deirdre, do you know what Sabrina and your brother want from you?
Isn't it obvious? Sabrina wants to place my sweet little brother on the throne of Caengorn. My brother, who is entirely subservient to her, and who, as the Prince of Caengorn, will have a vote on King Henselt's council.
I was asking about something else.
All right, then. She believes me to be cursed, tainted in my mother's very womb. She believes me to be a monster.
Are you?
How the hell should I know? When I prick my finger, I bleed. I also bleed each month. When I eat too much, my stomach aches. I sing when I am joyful. And when I feel hatred, I kill. I don't know if I'm a monster. Yet I do know what Sabrina is capable of. She is a monster you seek.
Yeah, so that is again a quote from the book. That is what Renfri says as well, because Geralt asks her the same question.
Explain. I'd like to hear your side.
I was 19 and happy when Sabrina showed up at the castle. My father, who always preferred Merwin, was old and ill by this time, so he could no longer bother me. My brother had been away at King Henselt's court, and I could handle most of the courtiers. I was at a tender age, and I fell in love. His name was Roban. I even considered a morganatic marriage. Girlish fantasy.
What does Sabrina have to do with this?
She arrived with my brother, whom she already had on a short lead. She observed me, interrogated servants, tested the situation. My father's company of knights treated me like a daughter. I had always liked hunting, took part in manhunts for bandits. She needed proof, some spectacular way to defame me.
And in your carelessness, you provided her with that proof.
Sabrina decided to provoke me. She seduced Roban using magic so powerful that his mind became confused. He suddenly developed an intense fear of animals, especially of the dogs he bred. I wanted to help him. It was then I discovered that mages found it hard to cast spells in my presence, and that spells previously cast gradually subsided if I was near. I went to the small chamber Roban inhabited just above the kennel, and I found Sabrina there. I admit, I was enraged, wanting to tear her apart, but she was too quick. The hag flew out of the window on a broom. Roban was left drooling, whimpering like a child. Within an hour he had ceased gibbering, and within 2 he understood what the witch had done to him. I thought all was in order and I could leave him. I wished to settle the score with her and entered the castle. I know not what happened, but the spell grasped Roban once more as soon as I was gone. He began feverishly seeking Sabrina. In his wildness he entered a pen occupied by a very aggressive hunting hound.
Did he survive?
Yes. Though mentally he became a 2-year-old child, a child that feared animals intensely. Sabrina blamed the accident on me. I swore then that I would kill her. I carry a blade should I get the opportunity to use it.
Yeah, so you might think, a broom? She's making this up. No, they actually did sometimes fly on brooms. That is a thing. During the attack on the castle Risrun, which was a diversion tactic of Geralt, they flew around in there on brooms. So that is actually their mode of transportation when they're flying and not using portals, which is hilarious. They're very quiet, which I suspect is why they do that. But yeah, that's all of this sounds especially like Sabrina. So I have absolutely no reason to doubt this. And you're like, Jinsey, you're just prejudiced against Sabrina and sorceresses. Yes, I am, because I actually know what they're like from the books. And especially Sabrina is horrible. Like, in the books, she's very straight to the point in the lodge and about who she wants to screw, but otherwise she's horrible. Genuinely. So, you know. You know.
What do you want from Eskel?
You can be disarmingly kind.
Yeah, but I mean, that is what I want to know.
Just answer the question.
I want him to stop fleeing his destiny.
And become Prince of Caengorn? Are you feeling all right, Deirdre? Eskel is a witcher.
What of it? It seems you don't know how childish your witch's mores sound. I constantly hear things like, we're witches have no feelings, and so on. You don't fool me. You have feelings, emotions, you're like all people except faster. I cannot fathom why you strive so hard to hide that.
It's rarely wise to fight a legend. Sometimes you have to make do with it.
Perhaps. But I'm not deceived.
I mean, we can't have children as witchers, so that is still a thing. And our bodies are different in many different ways, so... No.
How did you find Kaer Morhen?
I always know where Eskel is. I merely need to think about him.
Quite different from Ciri.
I'll be going.
I mean, obviously she's a special child, specially gifted in the power. You know, she might also be a source, you don't know. But like an anti-source. But that has little to do with the curse of the Black Sun. Because otherwise everyone would be like that was born under the Black Sun. And that's not the case. So, you know. Just saying. Eskel, where art thou, you weirdo? Wait, where are you hanging out? You know what? We'll just use it like this. I need to talk to Eskel. People keep saying that. That's a campfire map, not an Eskel. I'll never find Eskel, will I? Eskel! Where are you? I'm gonna go find Eskel, be right back. Right, into the old mine, because that is where Eskel is. You know, Jinzi, you only had to really read the quest, but hey! Hi, Eskel. How you feeling, bud?
Hey, Geralt.
Eskel, I wanted to talk about Deidre.
Fine, but we should tend to the Kikimors first. We need to destroy their cocoons. The Ard is best for that. It's dark inside, so down a dose of cat.
I just wanna quickly comment on the Geralt. Okay, I've commented on it now. Okay, I just wanted to have that said.
Let's go.
Am I fresh out of potions, though? Of course I'm not. Use the cat, Geralt. You know it to be true. Also, the fact that he's still telling me about it being great for that. I know that. I am a witcher. I'm very good at witchering. You know, generally speaking. And this is not from the point where Geralt had lost his memory, so... Doesn't count. Slap him in the face some more. I'm gonna do the thing now, yeah? And then suddenly thunderbolts appeared, you know, as they do when you cast Ard. You don't know this, but that is also a side effect of casting Ard. Thunderbolts. See? See? Oh, you thought I was joking. I don't joke. I don't joke around. I'm Geralt of Rivia. I like how I'm just being left alone to do this. And Eskel's like, yeah, and I'll fight them from afar. You must leave. Go to Eskel if you want to fight. I am not here for the fighting, yeah? I know I can heavy attack you, so why are you denying me? Exactly. Here, get thunderbolted, mate. Now you are also going to... No, okay, you're... Just do that, that's fair. They never stick around. Very rude. Very difficult fighting, as you do. Are you dead yet? Thank you. Much obliged.
First chamber is clear. Let's go deeper.
Care to tell me something about Deidre?
It was about 20 years ago. I rescued Deirdre's father from a gang of Bobalaks. I must have heard too many of Vesemir's stories about the eternal law of surprise.
We've all heard too many of those.
The prince, spattered with Bobalak blood, looked at me and said, "You saved my life, Witcher. As I am your debtor, say what you wish in return." All I could think of was the famous line, "You will give me what you know not that you have." I shall return to Caingorn 6 years from now to see if destiny acted in my favor. I never went back to Caingorn. Then rumors started circulating about the curse of the Black Sun. There was confusion, but that's another story. We have Kikimors to tend to.
All right, but I'll have a few more questions.
Right, so he is currently acting like the law of surprise is something mystical and something that Witchers never do, but they do. Witchers do this all the time. Geralt was also apparently a child of surprise, which always kind of confused me in a sense, but fair enough. So the fact that he's asking this isn't weird, and when Geralt is asked... Hold on, let me just start adding things actually while I talk. When Geralt is asked what he wants by Junie and Pavetta, or more specifically by Junie, he tells Junie, after he says, ask me anything, he tells Junie, a witcher that is asked that question has to ask a second time to confirm, and then he invokes the Law of Surprise, which is the only reward he is allowed to ask for after such a thing happens. So this is not a Eskel. This is not a strange thing to do. This is just what happens. You're a witcher. Witcher stuff happens. Lambert also a child of surprise. So it's kind of weird that they threw it in there as a that silly Law of Surprise. What a silly thing, eh, chaps? That never happens. Those laws of surprise. Okay, we're gonna kill you again. Okay, I don't want to set you on fire, but hey. I guess for story's sake, maybe Eskel's just very shy. Wouldn't blame him. I too am shy occasionally. Don't stand in it. Or do, you know, whichever.
One chamber left. Let's take a breather.
What do you know about the Curse of the Black Sun?
I did take an interest in it, and even bribed a certain wizard to let me look at documents drafted for the Council of Mages. I took some notes. It seems the mages screwed up as usual. Sabrina Glefisig was chosen to examine the Princess of Cairngorn. It was hatred at first sight. Something about a guy.
Women.
It only got worse. Sabrina concluded she had enough proof to consider Deirdre a cursed mutant, and to subject her to real studies. As I'm sure you've guessed, Deirdre had no intention of being examined, not least because she was a princess. She persuaded several of the prince's warriors to get rid of Sabrina. All hell broke loose at the castle in Cairngorn. Many died, and there was some priestess among the corpses.
What did the priestess have to do with anything?
Nothing. From what I know, she landed in the wrong place at the wrong time. After it was all over, Deirdre fled the castle.
And the pursuit continues to this day.
Exactly. I'll give you my notes on the curse when we're done with the Kikimores. Let's get to work.
Man, that must have all just been the curse, to be honest. Like, Sabrina being a total... insert whatever angry word you want. Nothing to do with that. No. It was a curse. It was all the curse. Definitely all the curse. Not Sabrina. No, Sabrina is a saint. Didn't you know that? Sabrina's a total saint. What a winner. Has never done a bad thing in her life. Definitely nothing to do with guys, right? Right? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I'm not actually winking. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Oh, I do not like Sabrina. In case that wasn't clear yet. I do not like Sabrina. Please die. I'm trying to set fire to things. Oh. Kind of. Are you dead yet? No, you're not. You know, Eskel, if you just wait until I set things on lightning, then you won't even have to fight. It's not likely we need the XP for this. Are we done? How about now? How about now? There we go. Now I've already destroyed everything. You can't start attacking at that point, you know? You should have been here before, because then you could have still saved the eggs. So really, the fact that the warriors don't come out until you destroy the eggs is extremely counterproductive. Just throwing it out there. Like, no shade, but it's counterproductive. Go on, Eskel.
Done deal.
So what'll it be, Eskel? What do we do with Deirdre?
I really don't know, Geralt. I understand Vesemir's viewpoint, but I'm not keen on surrendering the girl to the sorceress. I expect she'd meet an unpleasant end.
You have to make this decision on your own.
I know, though at this point the matter concerns you as well. It concerns all the Witchers.
Fine, we'll consider it. Give me the notes and let's get out of here.
I need to learn as much as I can about Deirdre and the other visitors. Alright, so, did you give me the notes here? No, you gave me the notes here. It matters not if we believe Eltebald's words to have been a prophecy or the ravings of a madman. For we must humbly admit that life has shown they elicited much discussion. Not for those reasons, though. Eltebald's claims subverted the reigning system of inheritance rights also, eliciting something of a storm in world politics. Yeah, but again, not because of the curse, but okay. Spurring mages to become arbiters to distinguish between degenerate mutants with inhuman internal organs who will bring doom upon the world and mere unruly spoiled maidens, wronged by inbreeding amongst the aristocracy and bad upbringing. Yet above all, Eltebald's words generated lively ethical and philosophical discussions centering on how deep we may penetrate in studying the essence of humanity, on whether it is admissible to use torture and vivisection in seeking the truth, on where we draw the line between monster and human. This work brings together and summarizes recent and not so recent discussions and debates of these issues. Okay. Well, we have a little walk to go here, so I'll be right back. Okay, as I am running, I realize that honestly, I still have a little bit to do if I want to collect a certain card. So, I will be back in the next episode, but it will only be one more episode as far as I know. I think that's only one more. I have to do the wolves if I want to have a certain card. So I might as well do those all together. It's not that much longer anymore. So I'll see you in the next episode. And after that, we are absolutely moving on to The Witcher 2. I'm also cutting it slightly short because I am melting. It is about 30+ degrees in my room right now. Save me. See you next time.